Hello Rebel and welcome back to my life. I did get a haircut, thanks for noticing. So I've been reading a lot recently, or at least more than I used to. No, you know what, I'm gonna stop selling myself short on this one. I've been reading a lot by pretty much any objective measure. I have read 4 novels in the last 3 weeks, and that's pretty good. Now some of you might already be in the comments saying, well I read more than that, and listen Amy, I know that your reading schedule is better than mine, but just because you are in the 98th percentile doesn't mean I have to feel bad about being in the 95th. Fifth is like one of those words that you can't say without sounding like you're drunk. Like the judicial system, the judicial system. Anyway, yeah, in spite of the drinking, or perhaps because of it, I've been moving through a lot of books recently. And I wanted to share a few of the things that I've changed in my life to make this extra reading possible, just in case you would like to do the same. Not that I have a vested interest in you reading a bunch of books very quickly. The books of Underrealm can all be found at this link right up here. Number 1, whatever book you happen to be reading, always have it on you. Now this is both easier and harder if you are an ebook reader or an audiobook listener, because you pretty much always have your phone on you and you can always read on that. That is of course perilous because you can always open up your phone and see all of those little notification numbers on your phone and then not read. I myself always preferred the print book, and I have been carrying mine around with me basically everywhere I go. It goes with me to the bathroom, it goes with me when I eat. It's pretty much always within arm's reach. The one that I'm reading right now is this one by Jason Fry. It's pretty good, and I always have it with me. Number 2, conversate. As with so many things in life, the journey or the effort towards more reading becomes a lot easier when you're doing it with other people. If you have a book club, that's obviously fantastic. I wish I had ever been in a book club. But since I've never been in one and I don't have one where I am that I know of, I have created a book club channel in my Discord server. And I just pop in there and talk about whatever book I'm reading. The good, the bad, everything. And I like cross-chat about it over on Twitter, where I start a Twitter thread when I begin a book and talk about it while I'm going through it. And then when that book is done, that Twitter thread is done. Because, I mean, the whole point of books, at least for me, at least partially, is to, like, change you and change the way that you think about things and give you new ideas and new perspectives. Basically, as with any hobby or interest, talking about it with other people makes it more fun and makes it easier to stick to. If you have lots of people that you talk with in real life on a constant basis and you can talk to them about books, that works. I don't. Number 3, switch it up. Let's say that you really like and pretty much only read epic fantasy. First of all, I understand. Second of all, the books of Underrealm can be found at that link right up there. But if you ever feel yourself getting burned out reading a certain kind of book, switching it up to a different kind of book can put a new pep in your step. That's a really bad metaphor when it comes to reading and books. Well, this is why I have an editor. So the last book I finished was N.K. Jemisin's The 5th Season. It's incredible. It's really good. It's also very difficult. It's a lot of work to get through that book, particularly the subject matter for me on a personal level. And so, as previously discussed, what I picked up after that very heavy epic fantasy book was this, because it's Star Wars. And I like Star Wars, and it's fun, and it doesn't require all that much effort from me, and that's fine. After that book, my plan is to next dive into The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, which I predict will also be a long and heavy read. You're not like cheating yourself or becoming a pleb if you take a break and just read something light and fun every once in a while as like a palate cleanser. It's like ginger. It really only makes sense if you're like really into sushi culture, but I mean, you're on my YouTube channel, so you have to be. This is why I usually script videos before I film them. Anywho, Bastank, thanks Wheezy Waiter. Number 4. You gotta make the time. This is the hard one. This is one that a lot of people don't want to think about, and is maybe why they fall down from reading more or reading as much as they want to. Now, it is a lie that everyone has the same 24 hours in the day. If you're a single parent, you do not have as many hours as a married parent. If you're a married parent, you don't have as many hours as someone who doesn't have kids. But you do always have the same 24 hours that you have. What I mean is, if you want to devote additional time to reading, you have to take it from somewhere else. So I looked at like all of my media consumption time, and the thing that I could most easily cut out without feeling like I was losing anything important was Netflix. And obviously not like all Netflix, right? Just that moment where you're like, I don't have anything else that I really want to watch, but somebody said that this was good. Yeah, okay, click. I just stopped doing that. I stopped doing that. I caught up on all of the Marvel Netflix shows, and now I'm just spending that time reading. I still watch Netflix, you know, I still watch about an hour and a half of TV a day, and then, you know, some YouTube videos and stuff, but I'm reading. There might be a category of your media consumption that was good and important to you, but which just isn't giving you all that much anymore. Maybe it's a podcast that you just, you know, aren't like listening to as much as you used to. A lot a couple of years ago. Maybe it's a YouTuber or a certain type of YouTube video that you used to watch all the time, but now you just sort of watch out of habit, not because you're like truly enjoying it. Wherever it is, I'm confident that you can probably go out there and find even half an hour a day that you could carve out of something else in order to do a little bit of that reading, that good old-fashioned reading. And if you do, the novels of Underrealm can all be found at that link right there. Never not marketing. I've been enjoying my reading reading time tremendously, Rebel. John Green just started his book club. That's going on to the reading schedule. I'm super hyped about it. Link in the doobly-doo. I want to thank you so much for watching. Do all the good stuff, like, subscribe, check out my Patreon if you are interested in my books or anything else that I produce on the internet. But yeah, whether it's my books or somebody else's, but especially if it's mine, I hope that you carve out a little bit of extra reading time this week, and I will see you next Friday. Bye!